Hi everyone, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is Where is Your Soulmate? So this is for, as Beyonce said, all my single ladies, the girls, the gays, the theys, and anyone else who is currently watching. But it's, why aren't they in my life yet? Like, what's going on in my soulmate's life? When might I meet them? Some details about them. There are 4 piles to choose from, and I suggest selecting the pile that sparks some memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 3, yin and yang, because the yin yang symbol reminds me of these earrings that my mom has had for years that have a little yin yang symbol on them, and I would steal them from her all the time so I could wear them to school when I was in high school. And I love my mom. So I will put the timestamps in the description down below. Feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, dating, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Lovers, the 8 of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the 10 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. All right, my pile 1, so where's your soulmate? Why aren't they in your life yet? Your soulmate is currently recovering from a heartbreak. We have, at the start of your spread, this Lovers card, followed by the 8 of Cups towards this Ace of Swords. And the 8 of Cups is a card of transition. And typically it's a card of almost like begrudging transition. Like, it's not that what you left was bad or that you wanted to leave it necessarily. There was just this realization that there's something maybe missing, or there's more out there. There's something even better waiting on the other side. And I think that this applies to the relationship that your soulmate is currently getting over, because the Lovers is a really beautiful romance card. And so I'm seeing that this person could have even thought that this other person that they were dating was their soulmate. Your soulmate could have thought they were going to be with this person forever. And I'm also picking up very strongly that I think that for a lot of you, especially if you are in your like mid to late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there, I get the sense that this person that your soulmate was dating was probably their first like serious relationship. Like, they got together with this person when they were pretty young, and maybe it was their first love, maybe it was, like I said, their first serious relationship. And I get the sense that they were together for several years, like at least a few years. And because of that, it felt very serious. It felt like we're going to be together forever. But with this Ace of Swords and transitioning away from this, I get the sense that because they were young, or because it felt so like fresh and exciting and new, they kind of rushed into the relationship, or they dove in very quickly, or they committed to each other very quickly without really recognizing that just because you have a lot of chemistry with the person, or just because you're very attracted to them, or you get along, does not necessarily mean that you will be together forever, or you have the things in common that are necessary for like a relationship that you want to last the rest of your life. And that's coming through in this Ace of Swords, which is this realization that came through, this shift in mindset. So what I'm hearing is that it could be that because the relationship was getting serious, maybe discussions were had about wanting to settle down, wanting to get married, to buy a house together, to have children, whatever the situation is. And I get the feeling that maybe your soulmate and this person that they were dating wanted 2 different things. So for example, maybe someone really wanted kids and the other person was like, I really don't want to have kids. And neither of them were kind of willing to budge on it. Or maybe one person was like, I got offered a job in another location and I really want to go there. I don't want to sacrifice or give up this job. Will you come with me? And the other person didn't want to move. It's something logistical like that. And it feels like it really boils down to a difference in values and what they want out of the future. And I don't think that's something that was considered when they were investing all of this time in each other. So now I get the sense that your soulmate has had this realization like, oh, if I want to be with someone long term, we really need to have similar values or want similar things out of life. Otherwise, I am hurting myself by investing so much time in someone where it ultimately won't work out, because in the end, one of us will be dissatisfied. Reminds me a lot of a relationship that my friend was in recently, where she met this guy and they really got along and they both treated each other really well. They had a lot of fun together. They were head over heels, like almost immediately fell in love or spending all their time together. And then I think the guy in the relationship just kind of had the realization that their political views, like how they want to spend their free time. For example, he was really introverted and she was very extroverted. He was like, I don't really want to go out to a bar every night. Like I do have fun with you, but that's just not who I am, and I can't keep that up long term. I need someone who understands my lifestyle, someone that I can do the things that I want to do with. And she felt the same way. You know, she was like, I don't want to spend every night at home cuddled up on the couch. I want to go out and do stuff. And it's not that either of them were bad people or that they weren't compatible in terms of like chemistry or personality, but at the end of the day, they had just had different things that they wanted out of life, different ways that they wanted to like move in a relationship. And so that's why it ended. And that really feels like a realization that your soulmate has had very recently because of this breakup with this person that they were with for a while. And with the 10 of Wands here, I believe that this is also kind of a transitionary card from this Ace of Swords to this 9 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Wands is feeling burdened. It is a really difficult journey, but it is also at the end of the suit of wands, the numerical suit of wands. You know, you're at the finish line, you're right there. So I do get the sense that although this breakup still feels fresh, they have gotten to the point where they are kind of almost done healing from this. I think they realize that this realization, this epiphany that they had about the relationship was really to protect them in the long term, and it was something that they will take with them in relationships going forward. Like, they will try to establish early on that we want the same things, because they don't want to waste their time. This person, your soulmate, actually is very romantic, especially with the Lovers and the dating card as your pile marker here. They really value like courtship and kind of the traditional modes of dating. So for example, if you are interested in men, this is the kind of person who really values like chivalry and wanting to give you flowers, for example, wanting to take you out on dates and get to know you before trying to dive into anything. And especially now that they know the importance of getting to know someone before committing. So in the transition here from this Ace of Swords, this really difficult transition they've had since this realization of letting go of this person, of trying to move on, they will be coming into, or they kind of are starting to come into, this 9 of Pentacles energy, which is someone who is really comfortable being alone. And also secondary message that I'm getting from this is that I do think your soulmate has been really focused on their career or building wealth. So probably when you meet them, they are very financially stable. They might be a little bit wealthy. But definitely this person is figuring out how to take all of that love that they had for this other person and give it to themselves. And then eventually wanting to give it to you, their soulmate, when they meet you. As far as when you might meet each other, I'm getting somewhere between like 8 to 10 months. We have the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. So definitely I feel like most likely later in the year. Another message that I'm picking up is that your soulmate could be a Gemini or have a prominent Gemini placement in their natal chart, so Moon, Rising, Venus. And that means that they're pretty sharp in intellect. They're probably witty, and they really hold a conversation well. And also they tend to want to try new things and learn new things and they're really interested in hearing other people's opinions and trying to like expand their mind and their universe. So probably one of their favorite things to do when you guys come into union is try new things together. So go to places that both of you have never been, watch documentaries, learn new things, try new foods, whatever that is. This person is very interested in kind of cultivating new experiences with the person that they love. Also picking up that this person is very hardworking. So again, I do think that especially after this breakup, they've really been pushing themselves into their work or building their wealth. So they've really been focused on their career recently. And I think that's partially because, one, they're recovering from this breakup, and two, they have not met someone that has really sparked their interest yet, which is probably going to be you. But yeah, they're very romantic. I can definitely see them on the first date, like showing up to your door, or on a date, generally showing up to your door, bringing flowers, walking you to the car, opening up the door for you, things like that. All right, my pile ones, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 2, the distorted feminine, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the King of Wands, the Sun, and the 3 of Cups. My pile 2, so where's your soulmate at? Your soulmate is currently not in the same place as you. With the 3 of Wands here, this is a card that can indicate travel or foreign lands. So I think this person definitely is currently living in or staying at the minimum, a different town or city than you, but could even be like a different state, different province, different country, even different continent. But with the 7 of Swords following this, the 7 of Swords to me can sometimes indicate leaving behind society. So I think in this case, they are leaving behind the place where the society where they're at, and they are moving by themselves. I think this is a move that they're doing by themselves. And so then they will end up in the same place as you. It could be, I just heard that they're moving to be closer to family members. So it could be that they maybe they were in school or they had a job somewhere that was far away from where their family's from and they're coming back, or they are living where their family's from and they've decided to go to school or accept a job somewhere else, like in the place where you live, and that is how you two are going to meet. I don't think that you've met yet. And with the 7 of Swords here, this is really interesting because this can be the card of deception sometimes, and I'm not getting that this person is deceptive necessarily, but with this King of Wands card that is describing your soulmate, the King of Wands is someone who is very charismatic, very charming, who kind of draws people to them and can be very convincing. And when I saw these two cards together, it immediately reminded me of I have a friend who has a son. He's probably, I want to say like 18 or 19. He's pretty young, but he is the most charismatic person I have ever met in my life. Just so charming, like really impossible not to enjoy like being around him. So interesting, so funny, just really clever and witty. And I told my friend, I was like, if he really wanted to, he could be a cult leader. And she thought I was saying that he was like deceptive or he seemed manipulative. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he is so likable and so convincing that I think if he wanted, he could use those skills in a negative way. I'm not saying that he would, but he just has that level of thing where I think people just naturally kind of want to follow him and be around him and be convinced to do what it is that he's doing. And I get the sense here that when you meet this person, you are going to be like, what's wrong with them? Because this person does seem to have all those qualities where they're really charismatic, they're charming, they're life of the party. Everyone seems really drawn to them. They could even be extremely physically attractive here. They are someone who kind of draws the eye of the room that they enter into. They can be like loud speakers or a little boisterous, especially at parties, but I think they like to entertain. And they could even be like athletic. Definitely this person has a lot of energy. They're outgoing. They probably are extroverted. They like to go out. But for you, I think when you notice all these things about this person, in your mind, you're probably like, there's got to be something wrong with them. Like maybe they don't have any emotional depth, or maybe they are not, I just heard this very strongly. You think they probably are players, or they have a lot of like people after them romantically, sexually. They're probably juggling a lot of people, especially with this 3 of Cups at the end of your spread, which in a love reading can mean like third party situations. And especially coupled with the 7 of Swords, I think in your mind, you're like, this person probably has so many people after them. And so because of that, you're a little closed off to them initially. But with your pile marker here being the distorted feminine, this card in particular is kind of about looking for reasons to be upset or be hurt, or kind of letting your past pain influence the way that you are treating or perceiving other people. So I think this has to do with your own feelings of insecurity, your own traumas and past relationships. Maybe you were cheated on. Maybe you just felt like you were not good enough, or you had a partner that had a wandering eye, whatever the situation is. Or maybe you feel like you've been lied to before and you really put your trust in that person. And so because of that, you are entering this situation where you are already approaching them with suspicion, or you're looking for reasons to not trust your soulmate or reasons to not like them. So when you meet them, I do get the sense that you're like, I don't know if I can trust this person. This person seems like they're manipulative, or they're a player, or whatever. And also with both the King of Wands and the Sun being here, I'm getting very strongly that your soulmate could be a Leo or have a prominent Leo placement in their natal chart. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And generally they embody all those traits that I said for the King of Wands. Someone charming, charismatic, outgoing, life of the party, could be athletic, lots of energy, loud voice, likes to perform, very convincing, very persuasive, fun, interesting to be around. And they tend to be a really like jovial friend. They do like to celebrate their friends' accomplishments. And they have a lot of passion in their life. They could be very creative. So they could be interested in art and music and movies and other kind of creative endeavors. And with the Sun here, the Sun also sometimes indicates youthfulness. So this person I'm getting could potentially be younger than you, but I don't think if they are younger than you, it's an extreme amount, because we have both the King, who's kind of considered like the oldest of the court cards, versus the Sun, which is a baby card. So it feels like it kind of balances out. So I could see them being maybe just like a year or two younger than you. And something else that I'm getting with the Sun is that they're very optimistic. They tend to look towards the future, and they really I just heard Ferris Bueller vibes, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Someone who just really knows how to live it up and just find things to do and find things to appreciate about the day. So they definitely like to have new adventures, and it doesn't even have to be like that exciting. Like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they watched a baseball game, they went to a museum, and that was what they did with their day, and it was really fun for them. So I get the sense that those are the kind of activities that your soulmate likes to do. And with the 3 of Cups at the end of the spread, I'm getting that you will meet this person. Like I said, first they have to move to where you're at, or they have to visit where you're at. But with the 3 of Cups, I think you are meeting them through friends, through a friend of a friend, at a party, at a get-together, at some kind of social outing. And for a select few of you, it could even be like a bar or a club. But I'm getting more strongly through friends, or at like a small house party situation. And when might you finally meet your soulmate? Well, I'm getting mostly the summer. And by the summer, I mean like June through August-ish. And again, timing is really kind of subjective because we all have free will. So this is just, if things continue on exactly as they are right now, that's the time frame that I'm seeing. But your soulmate has free will, you have free will, so it's subject to change. Could be sooner, could be later, but I would say generally that seems to be the time frame for most of the people that are watching this pile. So allow yourself to trust. Try to heal those parts of you that have felt like you have to close down or you can't be emotionally receptive, because this person is your soulmate. All right, congratulations, my pile 2. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, Yin and Yang, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Page of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Wands. All right, my pile 3, so where's your soulmate at? Your soulmate is being represented by this first card in your spread, this Queen of Cups. So they could be a Cancer or have a prominent Cancer placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And this is a very feminine energy. So if you are interested in feminine people, that maybe resonates very strongly with you. However, if you tend to be more drawn to masculine personalities, it could just be that this person has a very good balance of their feminine and masculine energies. And that's really also coming through in the pile marker that you selected, this Yin and Yang, which is all about the balance between these two energies. So again, even if you are interested more in masculine people or masculine presenting people, this is some of the energy that they have very strongly. So with the Queen of Cups, this is someone who is very nurturing, very emotionally receptive, caring, giving, affectionate, especially someone who is very empathetic, someone who can be creative, someone who really enjoys like cuddling and sleeping next to the person that they love, and who enjoys lots of like traditional kind of romantic stuff. Like I just heard like they would want to take a walk kind of in the evening when the moon's out, just a nice walk through the neighborhood or a walk on the beach, something like that. And I'm getting that for you and this person, you are marrying each other's life paths very strongly. So if they're going through something, you're probably kind of going through a similar situation at the same time. And with the Hanged Man here, I'm getting that for both of you, you've probably been single for a while, or you've just been really uncomfortable in your dating life. Because the Hanged Man is a card that's about stagnation or feeling like you're in an uncomfortable position. And with the Page of Swords next to this in the middle of your spread, the Page of Swords kind of slices through whatever this is. So the Page of Swords is them slicing through this Hanged Man, this period of feeling like, I don't know when this person's going to come in. I don't know if they exist. I don't know how much longer I have to wait, or I have to feel like I'm in this weird position where I don't even know if it's going to happen for me. And so that's being sliced through. I do get the sense that both of you have been waiting for a while. And so that's where your soulmate is right now, where they're still kind of waiting for you to come in. They've been waiting for a while too. I think they've probably been single. Also with the Page of Swords, they are someone who's very intellectually curious. They could be kind of like an eternal student, so to speak. So they could even be still studying. They could take classes in their free time. They could be a student, but generally they're someone who is very smart, and I think that will be very obvious to you when you first come into contact with this person. They also have a very strong understanding of who they are and what they want, so they are not necessarily easily influenced. I feel like they have already formed their own opinions and they will defend them, and so they defend their own choices. And so maybe when that comes to you, when they meet you, if someone has an issue with the relationship, they have no problem defending you. They can have a sharp tongue, but I don't think they will use it against you. I think they are just, you know, they would be very good debaters, is what I heard. Additionally, with the Hanged Man here, they could be interested in spirituality, as I'm imagining you are. So Probably they're also interested in kind of esoteric, spiritual things, tarot, astrology, things of that nature. And with the Page of Swords next to it, it could even be something that they have studied in some kind of way. So they read books about the subject, or maybe they took a class on it or something like that. I'm also getting that this person probably does read a lot just generally. Feels like right now your person has been biding their time, waiting for someone to come into them by filling their life with these other pursuits, these intellectual things, these spiritual things that they have been focusing on. And we get to this Wheel of Fortune into the Seven of Wands. So the Wheel of Fortune kind of turns the luck around. So we're turning around from this Hangman, stagnant, uncomfortable energy into the Seven of Wands energy. And it's interesting because sometimes the Seven of Wands is seen as like a negative card because it's feeling like things are stacked up against you. But to me, transitioning from the Hangman to the Seven of Wands, it's like now you finally got some action in your life. Now there's things happening, there's things to focus on, there's things coming in for you. And the person in the Seven of Wands always has a higher ground. So even when there's a lot going on and it might feel overwhelming, this person always comes out on top, so to speak. And I'm also getting, with the Page of Swords here, I said that this person would be a very good debater or would be very good at defending you. And the Seven of Wands is someone who is very protective and is starting to defend something or defend themselves. So it reminds me of the Taylor Swift lyric in Holy Ground when she says, "For the first time, I had something to lose." So it feels like this person has these very strong ideas, has these ideas about what they want, and knows how to defend them, but they haven't had the person in their life to want to defend, to want to protect. And I think with this transition, that's evidenced by the Wheel of Fortune, which is a positive card, by the way. The Wheel of Fortune is really a lucky card. It's an expansive card. It's things coming into your life that are positive for you. I think this person might be overwhelmed at first because they have spent so much time alone when they meet you. I get the, like, their thoughts are racing. They're like, this is such a big change. Like, I'm not used to it. But at the end of the day, they feel very strongly that they want to be with you and protect you and defend your relationship from all of these external forces that would otherwise try to blow out the flame, so to speak. And I don't mean that people will be trying to actively break you up, but life happens. They're like, even if I'm overwhelmed with work or even if I don't feel great that day, I still want to make this person a priority in my life. Something else that I'm picking up from this Wheel of Fortune is that you could potentially meet them at a place where one of you is getting a prize or an award of some variety. So it could be, for example, at like a work event where someone is given a customer service award, or it could be at like a fair or somewhere where there's games, like an arcade or something where people can win prizes is what I'm getting. But that's a message for a select few of you. So when might you finally come into contact with this person, though, in terms of timing? I'm picking up most strongly here, like late November through most of December. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the card for Jupiter, which is the planet that is associated with Sagittarius season, which is late November through most of December. And we have the Seven of Wands here, which is a fire sign. Sagittarius is a fire sign. So I'm picking up most strongly in that time frame. But overall, this person will have felt very lucky to meet you because, like I said, I do feel like you mirror each other very strongly. I feel like you have similar mindsets or similar experiences. And so when you meet, it's like, oh, I found someone who really understands me. And I just heard they want to melt into you. Just kind of romantic, very poetic. Heard my pile threes. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. You selected pile 4, Life Purpose. Welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 2 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, Strength, the 5 of Cups, and the 2 of Wands in reverse. My pile 4, so where's your soulmate? Why aren't they in your life yet? So your soulmate has some work to do on themselves. And the reason why I say that is because we start off the spread with this Two of Cups and this Four of Wands. And so your soulmate really strongly craves a romantic connection. The Two of Cups is a card about love and romance. They want someone to really see them, to share their life with, someone who really holds their interest romantically. And with the Four of Wands here, they want to be someone's knight in shining armor, so to speak. Although they don't have to be like a masculine energy, but they could be. And they want someone to take care of. They want someone to have this kind of beautiful fairy tale romance with. They want to have someone who they love, and they have the ability to celebrate that love. And for a lot of them, they are eager to get married. I just heard that maybe some of their friends or family members could be in the process of getting married, or they're in really happy relationships, and this person is kind of envious of that. And with the Strength card in the middle of the spread, I think your soulmate is feeling very pessimistic about love at this moment in time. So it could be that they've been broken up with recently, or they have been single for a while, but they just do not feel optimistic about it at all. And even though they do have these romantic fantasies, they think about romance all the time, they think about how they want to be in love, how they want to spend the rest of their life with someone, they also feel a little bit foolish for maintaining this hope. And so they're trying to suppress this part of them, this kind of hopeless romantic dreamer, daydreamer energy, because they're like, I don't think it's doing me any good. They're like, I keep wanting this for my life, or I want someone who really sees me and wants to be with me, but I feel like I'm setting my expectations so high, or I want it so badly that I'm just setting myself up for disappointment when it doesn't happen. And this could also resonate for you. Like, you could also be feeling this way and marrying this person, but because they want this so badly and it hasn't happened yet, they are starting to become a little bit pessimistic about love. And that's really evidenced in both this Five of Cups and this Two of Wands, because the Five of Cups is a card of grief or grieving. And so they feel like, maybe I'm going to be alone forever. Maybe I will never find my person. Maybe I don't have a soulmate. And the good news about the Five of Cups is that if you look at this card, there's 3 cups that have been spilled in the water, and that's what she's crying over. That's what she's grieving. That's what she's really upset about. But behind her, there's these 2 cups that are floating in the air, these really beautiful Two of Cups energy. That's the Two of Cups is the same card that we have at the beginning of the spread, which is about really mutual, symbiotic relationships. And so she's so busy crying over these things that she can't get back, that she can never recover. You can't get back the same water that you've spilled. You can't put it back in the cup. You might be able to fill up those cups with other water, with other feelings, emotions, other feelings for other people, but you can't get back, those specific molecules. And the same thing applies to relationships. That's what I'm getting at metaphorically, where you might have, you can lose a specific person, and you can even go back to that person. You can try to date them again, but it will never be the same experience as the first time. You can try to recreate the kind of relationship that you had with one specific person with someone else, and it's not going to be the same, because the other person is not the same person, and also you are not the same person, because you should be, at least, always growing and evolving and having new experiences, and that will impact how you approach a relationship, how you are as a partner. And so this person is kind of crying over spilt milk, so to speak, but they don't know if they just decide, okay, I'm done, mourning this and feeling like dwelling on it. That's what I'm hearing. It's like they put so much stock in these things that happened in the past, and they're like, my love life is always going to be this way. But because they're holding on to it so strongly, and because they have that belief that it's always going to be that way so strongly, they are cutting themselves off from being able to move on and bring in this soulmate energy, which is why they're not in your life yet. Because if they just decide to stop crying over the past or release it, to move on from it and turn around, they have this Two of Cups, this beautiful Two of Cups right behind them. And with the Two of Wands in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse is really a fear of the unknown. So it's a fear of not knowing how things are going to turn out. This person is so afraid of ending up alone that they're not making any moves, or they're not planning to try to not be that way. They would rather have everything, told to them. Like, I think if they had the opportunity where they could be like, can you just tell me exactly who my soulmate is, when I will meet them, what we're going to be like together, they would want to take that. And in theory, that's nice to have that assuredness of knowing like it is going to happen, but also it takes out some of the romance and the mystery and the fun of getting to unravel another person and see where they fit into your life. So this person definitely has a fear of the unknown, or a fear of how things might end up for them in their love life. And with the pile marker that you selected, this life purpose card, this card is all about how even when we don't have romantic relationships in our life purpose is still to love and be love and spread love. And the only kind of love in the world is not romantic. You can love yourself, you can love your friends, you can love your family, you can love nature, you can love certain activities, you can love your pets, you can love animals, you can love music. There's so much love in the world. There's an endless resource. And this person really has to learn how to value their life, their friends, their family, and not think of romantic love as the kind of pinnacle of love, and that if they don't have a romantic partner, then they're not, fully living, or their life isn't as good as other people's. And yes, I understand that. It's natural to want romantic love and to crave romantic love, but romantic love within itself should not be something that we bank our happiness on. You should be able to feel love and express love and know that love is inside of you, regardless of whether or not you have someone validating that for you. And so I think that this is something that your soulmate has to work on before the universe will allow them to come into union with you. So really, this feels like a divine timing thing. It feels like your person is kind of on a self-discovery journey to kind of realize, why is it that they stake so much claim in romantic relationships to the point where they feel like they're not good enough or they're not enough if they do not have someone that is interested in them romantically? And again, maybe you feel the same way. This is your soulmate, so you could be kind of mirror energies. So this could be part of the reason why you're both not meeting each other, is because you both have this work to do. So that way, when you do come into union, you're not codependent. And it's not like, oh, this person texted me and their tone seemed a little off, so now my whole day is ruined. You have to be able to feel love and express love and love yourself outside of a relationship. And I do kind of hate that saying. Like, I hate when people are like, well, you have to love yourself first. I mean, because I know that that's not necessarily easy. And sometimes being in a relationship and having someone show you what they love about you is a way to learn how to love yourself. But I think that you should, you don't have to be your biggest fan. You don't have to be in love with yourself. But I do think that in order to be in a healthy relationship, there really needs to be at least a level of self-respect or a level of love of who you are. So that way someone else's opinion of you or how someone else treats you doesn't impact the way that you see yourself. I think a good example of this would be like, let's say you really know something about yourself. Let's say you're really smart and you're smart. You have no doubts about that. If someone came up to you and said, you're stupid or I think you're dumb, you would probably just be like, okay, you're rude, but it wouldn't bother you that much because you already know you're smart. You're like, well, I know this person's just trying to hurt my feelings, but it's not going to work because I have that solid foundation of who I am, and someone else's opinion or something that they say about me or do to me is not going to make me question that part of myself. But a lot of times in relationships, especially if we tend to have these kind of wounds, it can be like, if someone's does something that you feel like you're not being treated well, it's easy to be like, well, it's probably because I'm not good enough in this way or this way. Or if they actually outright say, I wish you were more like this, then you might be like, yeah, they're right. I need to change myself. I need to mold myself into a different person in order to be deserving of being treated well romantically or being loved. And that is not the case. I think everyone is worthy of love, not just romantic love, but love, of respect, of being treated well. And so it feels like that is a lesson that needs to be learned before union is possible between you and your soulmate. So again, I really feel like this is divine timing based on the healing, based on the realization, based on when it would be healthy for both of you to come together. But if I had to give a time frame, I would say like late July through most of August. And I don't think that is this year, like this upcoming late July through most of August. I think maybe next year. This is a timeless reading, so if you're not watching this when I put it out, which is April of 2023, then I would say probably the next late July through most of August for you. The reason why I say that is because that's Leo season. Strength is a Leo card, and that's in the middle of your spread, so that is the message that I'm picking up. All right, my pile fours, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.